Hey, I'm Scotty T from Your Comedy Minute. I have a very, very special guest today with me. I have Big Empty Zero. Mr. Zero, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you. Thank you so much for getting up and being on the show.
Absolutely.
Now you are I have here that you're a painter, you're a musician, and now you started a podcast.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been doing? Which one came first?
Well, I've been making art and making music forever. So
Okay.
you know,
Well, pardon my ignorance, but forever is how long? How long you've been doing music and doing art?
oh man, I don't know, my whole life. I mean, this particular project. So I think my first EP came out maybe 2 years ago now.
Right. No, I have
Um,
that written down. That was
yeah.
on uh there's an album on Spotify called Monster that was released in April of 2022 or May of 22. Five-track thing.
Yeah, yeah. So I got that on Spotify. I got some more music on Bandcamp if people want to check that out.
Yeah, you've got it. Yeah, because I have that written down here. You got a new album called Sketches on Bandcamp.
Yep.
Uh, and it's Noodle Bake Records. Are you still on Noodle Bake Records?
Yeah, yeah, that's my label that I'm on.
Yeah, that reminds me of smoking pot.
Yeah, there's
I
probably
mean,
some of that.
that's what I took from it because I mean, I eat that age. Not that I ever inhaled. But okay, so let's start. In other words, you didn't just start playing back music in 2022. You probably been playing a long time before that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess I would say I'm a multi-instrumentalist, play a bunch of different instruments. This particular project is more electronic, so I do a lot of sound design, and just a lot of I don't know, I guess experimentation in sound. And I don't know, man. I make the stuff that I like, and I don't know. I hope people like it.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking because I mean, you have a lot of stuff I
Yeah.
have written down here. On YouTube alone, you have 88 subscribers, I think 54 videos, 4,128 views. On Instagram, you have 3,500 followers. On Twitter or X, you have 4,840 followers. So you must be
Yeah.
doing something right.
I guess, yeah. I'm putting it out there everywhere I can.
Okay.
So,
Um, and I also saw just before I come on, I was trying to get as much information as I can about you. You
sure.
did a TikTok live. That was a 2 hour TikTok live.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, I actually used to do Twitch a lot, where I would do these Twitch streams, and I would just perform my music live, and I would perform visuals live on the fly, kind of thing. And that was a lot of fun. I'm still gonna do that here and there, but I'm moving more into like YouTube and stuff. So
Okay.
I'll have more of those on YouTube. Probably gonna start doing some live streams there. And
Okay.
yeah, just working on some new music right now. So I'll have like new music videos and stuff up on YouTube. I got the podcast, which is going pretty well right now.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
I just did my 103rd live show on YouTube.
Wow, congrats.
Yeah, and those are always I was explaining to I just did aired one yesterday. That's a half hour of me, no edits, there's no safety net. It's just me and I have to, I either sink or swim.
Awesome.
I wanted to ask you because now, and again, pardon my ignorance because I haven't had a ton of time to go over all your stuff. But do you ever sing or is it just keyboard and electronic music?
Yeah, I don't sing. It's
Okay.
just yeah, just pretty much electronic stuff
Yeah, I'm a
for the
big
most
house
part.
music guy. I love because you described as house and trance and that kind of thing. And I'm a big house music guy, believe it or not.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I grew up on that stuff, man. So I definitely definitely influenced by all that stuff. I'd say my music might be a little darker and kind of more been called synthwave, it's been called goth, it's been called whatever. So I don't know. I make what I like, and other people kind of describe it however they're going to describe it. You know.
Well, that's a great attitude to have, because I don't know if you know, I worked in the music business my whole life.
Oh, cool.
I
I didn't know
started
that.
believe it or not, I knew I was going to be in the music business when I was 12 years old. I went to my first concert. It
Oh
was
yeah.
Foghat Sweet, and I saw a guy giving out passes, and I said, I want to be that guy.
Yeah.
And I pursued my dreams, and I was fortunate enough to, work for BMG and RCA. I worked with Tool, Cheap Trick, Kiss,
Cool.
you name an artist, I've probably been with them in one, Dave Matthews from country to, again, Tool or something, ZZ Top.
Yeah.
So for me, it's music is a real, but it's like art. You put it on the wall. Some people like it, some people don't,
Exactly. You got to do it for yourself.
and that's a great attitude to have. Let me ask you this now, because your latest, I guess it's like a priority order. I wonder, which is now you started this podcast, and your latest podcast is about aliens.
Yeah, the last one was. Um, yeah, so I mean, my podcast just sort of started as a way for me to kind of be more active on YouTube, to be honest.
Okay,
Because I've been putting so much effort into like Twitch and other platforms. Um, but yeah, I kind of just wanted to do stuff. So I started putting music on YouTube. I started putting live performances on YouTube.
okay,
Played a show in LA a little while ago. I threw that up on there. And
right,
yeah, I just wanted to like be a little bit more active. So I started reaching out to a couple of my buddies, and before you know it, I just got booked. So I've been doing, pretty much one a week for the most part.
okay.
And yeah, it's cool. It's fun. It's very new and different for me. Obviously, I like to be a little bit more behind the scenes.
Yeah, I was going to
But
ask about that, but I didn't want to.
yeah,
You kind of remind me of that anonymous thing. I don't want to piss you off and have you come blow up my house or something.
no. Um, yeah, I mean, I do obviously like staying anonymous and, keeping my personal life personal, but,
Okay,
this is just a way, this allows me to put myself out there, in a way
okay,
that I
you're
wouldn't be
right.
comfortable normally.
Well,
So,
I've said that numerous times, Big Empty Zero, that it takes a special individual to say that I'm gonna, like, for me, 4 years ago, I decided. My sister kind of, said to me, Scotty, it's called Your Comedy Minute with Scotty T. You got to be the guy. And at that point, I kind of, because I was kind of hiding behind, I was doing memes and stuff like that. And I had a couple of videos, but then I realized, well, I've got to be the driving force.
totally.
And to put yourself out there and look into this camera and hopefully, put on a good show or whatever, it takes a, very special person that's willing to do that.
Yeah, thanks, man. I think, yeah, for anyone listening, like whatever it is that you want to do, you got to just start doing it. And I mean, that's been a recurring theme on my podcast, talking to different artists
Right,
and
right.
stuff. It's just, I mean, everyone who's out there doing something is saying the same thing. Like, you just got to start and don't worry about what you have. If you're like, oh, my webcam sucks, I can't get started until I have a new webcam. I can't get started until I have build up an Instagram. It's like that shit doesn't matter. You got to just start, and you're gonna learn by doing whatever it is that you're doing. And once you get that momentum going, you're gonna know what to do next, kind of as it comes. And then pretty soon you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, wow, look at all this stuff I did last year. And now I can look forward to next year and all these other things I want to do.
As you said that, went into my mind is the longest journey starts with the first step,
Yeah, man.
and I'll say this for anyone out there, and maybe this will, with you, 4 years ago, I got fired from my job
Mm,
and for telling jokes. And all my life, people said, "You're so funny. You're one of the funniest guys." And that's when it kind of like there was this aha moment where I said, "Well, maybe I should try and do comedy."
mm.
And 4 years later, I'm finally I don't want to say I'm comfortable, but I'm getting more comfortable. Like for instance, doing this. For those of you that don't know, I've never met Big Empty Zero till 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And again, that takes a certain amount of balls to be able to say, okay, or the one I just put up yesterday, the one I did earlier this week, where I don't know this person. So I have to feel pretty comfortable in my own skin to say, okay, I'm going to bring on a total stranger and say, go ahead and talk. Tell me whatever the hell you want to tell me.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's the power of the internet. I've met a lot of cool people on Twitter and various social media places just like doing their thing, and a lot of those people have become good friends now.
Yeah. Well, do you see yourself, in other words, like I noticed on your live performances, it's like on a television, almost reminds me of, I don't know if you remember a guy named Max Headroom.
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, well, that's what it kind of reminds me of. And I guess my question is, with the podcast and the music and your art, do you plan on like putting them all together and maybe doing like a full-fledged like TV show, or how do you
I
see it
would love
playing
to do
out for
that.
you?
Yeah, I would love to do that. That's definitely something I've thought about.
Right?
Yeah, I'm absolutely. I'm totally open to that. I mean, I'm kind of just an all around like my brain is going crazy as an artist all the time, always coming up with stuff. So I mean, I've got short films written that I want to direct.
Okay.
It just there's no shortage of ideas. So yeah, I mean, I can totally see myself doing something like that down the line.
Well, you're a very creative person. I mean, because not only do you have the music, but then I guess now I'm realizing that that's your artwork that's behind it, or and the video part of it. With me, I have a can and a string.
Yeah,
I was so happy. This will tell you. I mean, again, I told you up front, I'm an older man, 61 years old. I was so happy when I learned how to be able to do these Zooms and
yeah.
record. And that's only been in the last, 6 months or a year that I've been able to get that technology down. But someone like you who has, infinite uh, technology, I'm just so impressed with everything you do.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, and so the idea would be to one day encapsulate it all into one, a show with your music and your artwork and video production. You said you have a couple short films.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll see where it goes. I have a lot of stuff planned for this year that I'm pretty excited about. I got music
Okay.
that's kind of
Okay. Can you talk
um,
about any of that? Is there anything that you want to share?
well, I mean, haven't announced it yet, so I might not be able to say much at the moment, but I can say
Okay.
that I can say that I do have new stuff that is going to be coming out soon.
Okay.
I'm going to
How
be
long,
doing.
and I
Yeah, sure.
apologize, I didn't get a chance to look. How long have you been on YouTube?
Not long. Not long at all. So as you can see, like I don't have a big following on YouTube. So if you guys want to, check out my YouTube, give me a subscribe. I definitely appreciate that. Help me grow the channel. And
Yeah,
and I'll keep posted.
I was your 88 subscriber this morning.
Thank you.
No, and after this is over, I'm going to talk to you if it's okay. We'll
Sure.
talk a little bit because obviously you've seen the numbers I've amassed, which is, I kind of shake my head that I have 5 million views and 11,000 subscribers,
That's
and I'll be
amazing.
able to help out with some tips. But like I look at your X numbers, like Twitter X, and your Instagram numbers, you obviously have a really good following.
Yeah, thanks, man.
If you can
Yeah,
parlay them over, that's something that I've always done.
yeah,
I use Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, LinkedIn, everything to direct them back to YouTube because
totally.
I was monetized by YouTube for a minute, and then they changed things up, and now I'm not monetized, but I'm working towards getting monetized again. Not that it's strictly about the money, but um,
That,
for
that
everyone
helps.
out there,
Yeah.
it's about being successful, and I'm not just pissing into the wind here.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome that you've been able to do that.
Um, do you have a favorite out of everything you're doing? Would you say it's like with this latest podcast where you had a woman on talking about aliens? Do you
Um,
enjoy that? Do you enjoy that as much as playing music, or is music top?
I mean, music definitely comes first for me.
Okay.
That's really my passion. But I'm a creative person. I have a lot of other creative types in my circle, so you know, it. I'm enjoying talking to them. Doing these podcasts because I think we've put out some. I think there's some really insightful things that have been shared. And I think a lot of the podcasts that I've done are something that could maybe help people, just starting out or struggling or working on whatever their craft is. So I definitely do enjoy that. But I will say like the music and the art and stuff like that for me will always come first.
Were you ever in a band?
Yeah, I mean, again, as the anonymous thing, I don't go too much into my past, but I will say I've been in music for a long time.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
All right. Well, as I said, I've worked and I noticed a couple of your early podcasts were leaning towards the music business and going after your record label and because that's what I did. I did promote. Well, I mean, I've done it all in the music business. I sold records, I promoted them, I've done every part of it. And promotion, that's the real key to if you want to get anywhere, you have to have a team of people promoting your stuff.
yeah, man. I mean, for me, being on a label has been huge for me, and really helps me do a lot of things that I would not be able to do on my own, or it would have taken much, much longer
All right.
to be able to do
So
what I
you're
want.
you're happy with what is it called? Noodle Bake
Music.
Records?
Yeah, they're awesome. They're obviously a smaller label. They're out of Connecticut, actually. And everyone on that label is very interesting in a completely different way. So I would totally recommend if you guys, check out Noodle Bake Records.
Right.
You can go to their website and check out the different artists on their roster. I mean, it's crazy. It's everything from like hip hop to like they got one artist who does like chiptune music on Game Boys. Um,
Okay.
and then you got me who's doing what I do. And
And your latest album on Bandcamp is called Sketches,
yep,
and it
that's
comes
right.
if I read it right, it comes with like a notepad or something, right?
Yeah, so
You have it there. Can you show the
I,
people?
I might actually. Hold on. Um,
That's cool.
yeah, so pretty cool. This one's all shrink wrap. So sketches, that's the notepad. You can scan it on the back, and if
Okay.
you scan it, that takes you to the
Live,
site.
some
So
video stuff, right?
well, you can stream it off of this. But if you do buy the album, it does come with some bonus video
Okay.
stuff. So there's some secret songs, I guess you could call them.
Wow, that's a really cool idea.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I've never
And
seen that. Never seen
uh,
anything like that before.
honestly, like having a sketchbook is so useful. Like I have tons of them, but I always keep one on my desk here. I'll write down, ideas or my set list or patch ideas or anything. So
I've got
good to
I've got
have.
papers all over the place.
Yeah, yeah, you know what I'm
I've got
talking about.
here's another one. I got and they all are just me writing down jokes and writing down stuff. I'd be nowhere if I didn't write down when I do like I said, my 103rd live show, I have 103 scripts over there where bing, 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 and I go right down the list.
Yeah,
Without it, I'd be
uh,
lost.
yeah, yeah, me too.
I've done a lot of drugs and alcohol in my life.
Yeah.
If you worked in the music business, or if you know anything about the music business, and you probably realize this, imagine, let's say I'm working ZZ Top or Dave Matthews. I'm working for RCA Records, and I go to Charleston, West Virginia. What do you think happens when I get to Charleston, West Virginia?
Drugs? I don't know.
The promoter or the radio guy, I'm going there getting to play. Please play ZZ Top, Mr. Radio Man. Please play. Okay, well, let's go to a strip joint. Let's go.
Uh,
And there was a lot of drinking and you have any weed and that's how you got. I don't want to say all, but there was a lot of most radio programmers, they wanted to party.
oh yeah, I bet.
And if it wasn't me, it was the guy from Warner Brothers coming pushing whatever, and then the guy pushing Van Halen, and the guy from Capitol coming pushing whatever.
Uh,
So those guys, that was the thing I said that my whole life I was the guy kissing ass versus like the radio guys and got their ass kissed. Everyone begged them to play the music.
oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure they love that too. It's their whole, that's their ego stroke.
Well, it's just the way, and I think it actually has gotten worse because of pay for play. You know, like Beyonce just getting the first black country, female black country number one.
Yeah, I saw that. That's really weird.
Well, it didn't happen without some money, without
Oh
some.
yeah, yeah.
I guarantee it.
Oh, totally, man. I mean, that's why, I was listening to the radio the other day. I heard the same song like three times. It's just they're whatever is in the rotation is what they have to play, it seems
Yeah,
like.
yeah,
So,
and
and
unfortunately, music has suffered. I'm not a big fan of a lot of the music today. Well, most of the music today,
yeah,
just because there's not, um, like in other words, and I'm getting real old school here, but a lot of kids today think that they're something because they can create beats.
well, and going back to what you said, man, I mean, a lot of the music of today doesn't really have a whole lot of substance to it. So there's,
Very little.
they're not singing about anything important. I mean, whereas the music of our time growing up, I mean, it was poetry. I mean, it
Yeah.
was,
Well,
even,
and people played the music. There was a drummer, there was a guitar player, there was a
oh
keyboard
yeah,
player,
yeah,
you know. Now it's push one button and you got the whole damn thing going.
yeah. And I don't know. I mean, I could get started on that whole thing, but I mean, even looking at like what people would say punk music is now, I mean, it doesn't even. I'm not hearing a whole lot of stuff that's like about anything. It's just a sound, or it's just a style, or it's just I don't know. It's weird. And you look at these people who are dressing in 90s fashion, but they got it all wrong. They didn't grow up in the 90s, so they don't realize that like you're wearing two thing, you're wearing I don't know, you're mishmashing styles that never would have been a thing back then. Like you're wearing, a top with jeans that like those are two different people that never would have worn the same outfit. And it's just this like bastardization of I don't know, different style. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's cool that that stuff's coming back for sure,
Well,
but I don't know.
I'm blessed because I started out, I told you early on I went to my first show when I was 12, and then I ended up going to the recording workshop and actually learning how to run a mixer board and actually learning how to mic, drum kit and learning how to record music. Not just pushing a button and recording, digitally with analog tape and that kind of thing. And there was a lot to it, there was a lot to it.
Yeah,
Setting the
man.
levels, making sure that the kick drum wasn't too loud, making sure, so
Yeah, and you get such a vibe from that that translates into the recording. Like when you record on tape, you get this nice rich distortion that even with the harmonics, and it just
yeah,
adds like a layer of like this really cool vibe to your
yeah,
sound. And yeah, that unfortunately that's mostly been lost. You got all these guys are bedroom producers for the most part. Um,
right.
um,
Well, look, we don't have a lot of time left, so I want to make sure if you have anything, because you know that I asked you at the end, I'd like you to do a comedy bit,
oh
tell me
man,
whatever. But before we go,
Yeah.
I want you to tell the people if I missed anything again. It's Big Empty Zero. He's on YouTube. He's on Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, anywhere else that you are. Big Empty Zero. I will put those links. This will
Awesome.
air probably about 2 weeks from now, and I will put all those links in the description so people can check you out. And I will
Awesome.
keep in touch with you. Maybe I'll check back with it, with you in a couple months or see how you're doing, see if there's anything, especially when you got new stuff coming out. We'll get together and
Yeah.
we'll tell the people about it.
Awesome, man. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, that's basically it. It's I mean, you listed all the big ones. My music. If you listen on Spotify, I got my
Yeah.
EP up there. If you want to go to Bandcamp, I got a bunch more stuff
Right.
on there. My new album. I
Okay.
do sell paintings as well. If you go to my Bandcamp, you can see my merch. I have paintings and all sorts of other stuff for sale. And then yeah, just check out my YouTube. I'll be a lot more active on YouTube,
Good.
and I'll be posting a lot more stuff.
Okay. Yeah, and you got to hold up that sketches pad, which is really cool.
Yeah, and I do, anytime I'm playing a show, like I'm going to be playing a show, I think it's March 22nd on Twitch. So, if you follow me on Twitter, I kind of announce everything on there. I
Okay.
got stuff going on.
Okay. You got a show coming up on Twitch on I'll try and hopefully if we air it before that, I'll make sure to include the link.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah,
And,
and like I said, you also are on TikTok because you just did a
yep,
2 hour TikTok live.
yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah,
Well, we've
so,
got a few minutes left, so and I want to stop early so I can talk to you for a minute.
sure,
Do you have a little comedy? And again, I know I kind of threw it out there, but
yeah,
with it being called Your Comedy Minute,
yeah, I can give you a joke.
that was the premise when I started this. That people would come on and tell me, something, they fell over in a ditch, you got all full of mud, or their girlfriend did, whatever. It doesn't have to be a joke so much. It's just
Yeah,
something that you personally, your favorite comedy thing, something that when you think of, you smile.
sure. Well, I'll tell you, I don't have much, but I do like corny jokes, so I got a corny joke for
Okay.
you. Why can you never hear a pterodactyl in the bathroom?
Because the P is silent.
Because P is silent.
Do you want to try again?
Yeah, sorry, that wasn't very good.
No,
Uh,
in other words, if you go down that
you're
road,
the OG,
I couldn't
man.
guess
Yeah,
every one
yeah.
of them.
What do you call a pig? What do you call a pig who's good at karate?
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand what you said.
What do you call a pig who knows karate?
Pork chop.
See, that's easy.
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah,
you're gonna go hard, and I.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, all right, all right.
You know,
Why does,
the kind of jokes I like, Big Empty Zero, is like,
yeah,
what does an elephant and a giraffe have in common?
I have no idea.
Neither one can ride a bike.
Yeah,
It's kind of what they call anti humor, where it's not really a joke as much as it's just bizarre punchline.
yeah. Yeah,
Oh
man,
no,
yeah, I don't really consider myself a funny person, but I think, if we're
you
hanging
don't
out
have
and
a
we're talking
story.
about,
You can't come up with one good story where somebody fell or something.
okay, there was a guy that I know who,
There you go.
all right, he shit his pants one time, and,
Perfect.
yeah, yeah, so, my other friend texted me, he goes, hey man, Jim shit his pants. Or no, in other news, Jim shit his pants. And I'm like, what? Like so random. Like, okay. He says, yeah, he said he sneezed and it just fell out.
We let me ask because I'm curious now. Were you guys out at a club or something, and your buddy says, "Hey,
Yeah,
Jim just shit his
he was
pants"?
a they were working at a bar actually. So he's a bartender. He's at work. Guy just sneezes and shits his pants. Huh.
He's a bartender and he's bartending. He shit his pants.
Yeah, it's out of nowhere. Yeah,
See,
yeah. I thought that was pretty good.
you did it, Big Empty Zero. You did
Uh,
it.
thank
You
you.
made me laugh. All right, well, let's end this thing, and I'll stay right there because I wanna again talk to you for a few minutes off the record. All right.
Sounds good, man. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Hey, thank you so much for being here.
For sure.
And
Anytime,
I'll
man.
check in with you soon. Just stay there for a minute. All right. I'm going to stop the recording.